You guys can be in whatever position is comfortable for you. If you're laying in bed or if you're laying down. I find personally that when doing stuff with the chakras, it's really nice to be laying down, just because you can feel like the full length of your body and all the way from like your head to your toes, and you're just taking up the most space. But it is nice to be sitting upright as well, or standing even. So completely up to you. You can also listen to this if you're like doing stuff around your house or doing any stretching or yoga or whatever your day is like right now. If you're not already there, you can get to your comfortable position. And whatever position you're in, you can just check in with the relationship between your shoulders and your hips so that your shoulders are aligned with your hips from all different angles. So from a front view and from a side view. And you could check in with your pubic bone and the space right in between the hip bones. And check in with that and maybe even trace it with your hand or just with your awareness. And feeling that aligned with your navel, feeling that aligned with your breastbone and your sternum and your throat center, your nose, all the way through the third eye and the crown of the head. So and not worrying too much if you're not completely straight, just getting that idea in our mind of that center channel of energy in our body. And checking in with the back body, you can also feel the space between the sit bones, the root of your spine, and trace that through your lower back, your middle back, the space between the shoulder blades to the back of your neck, and the back of the skull through the crown of the head. And if you're in a space where you are feeling safe to do so, you can let your eyes gently close if they're not already. And take a nice big cleansing breath whenever you arrive. A slow and intentional inhale through the nose, calling air into your body, calling this life force energy. And then just pausing for a moment or two when you are full and just notice what that feels like. And then without straining, whenever you need to, slowly letting all that air go, decompressing bit by bit. And then pushing a little bit more air out of you even once you're empty. And just totally emptying yourself. And then pausing for a moment or two there. Noticing what that feels like. And letting your next breath come naturally. And you can breathe like that a few more times if that's feeling good for you today. Maybe imagining the positive and uplifting thoughts and energy entering your body as you inhale, and feeling anything that no longer serves you leaving your body as you exhale. And at any point, just releasing all control over the breath. And just practicing allowance. Allowing your body to breathe on its own. As you just start to remember the power of your breath. Your breath is that one bodily function that can either be entirely automatic or entirely voluntary. If we think about our heart beating, or if we think about our stomach digesting, these are not things that we have the option to make voluntary. They will always be automatic. It's not require any doing from us. But our breath can do its thing if we're not paying attention, or we can guide it to do more of what we'd like. when we are paying attention. So just contemplating that inside of your body, and just maybe just asking yourself the question, who is allowing your body to breathe? Who is breathing your body when you are sleeping, when you are exercising, just when you're not paying attention? The same force that is beating your heart for you, the same force that has given you all of your organs and just allows your body to be here, to exist. And just recognizing that you have the same power as that force. If that force, whatever it is for you, allows your body to breathe, you can also allow your body to breathe. So the breath can be this sacred connection, the sacred key connecting you to your maker, to your creator. But also keep in mind that focusing your attention on the breath is not helpful for everyone, especially if we have traumas relating to breathing. So just be really kind and gentle with yourself anytime you hear people suggesting something that is relaxing, because what's relaxing for me may not be relaxing for you. And just honoring your own individuality, and listen to your body. Throughout this practice today, if I suggest anything that does not resonate with you or doesn't feel good, then trust your own feelings and trust your body more than my words. Your body is far more intelligent than anything I could ever say. So you can let my cues be more of a guideline, be like an outline or suggestions of where to focus. And if you can follow along and it feels good in your body, then great. But if not, then no worries whatsoever. So you can start to feel a wave of relaxation, just a wave of softness, start to spread across your face. And first, just noticing if the face was tight in any areas, usually in the forehead and the eyebrows and the jaw. And just by resting your awareness on the muscles of your face, you can allow these areas to soften. Imagine all those tiny little muscles that are along your lash line. If you think about your eyes when you squint up, maybe even squinting so that you can really feel the contrast. Squeezing the eyes shut and then relaxing them, so that you can feel the difference when you are tense versus when you are soft. And feel the expansion across your forehead. Feeling the corners of the eyes getting a little bit wider. And even the eyeballs are just resting in the eye sockets. There's no need for you to hold up anything in your face. Any expressions just melting away with the tension. Feeling your jaw rest into place. Letting your tongue be soft. The teeth. The lips. The cheeks. The ears. And the hairline and the scalp. And just letting that sense of stillness and softness in the head and the face, just like a glass filling up with water, just allow it to start to trickle down and softening the muscles in the neck, just so that the vertebrae can rest on top of one another if you're sitting upright. And softening the muscles of your shoulders, so there's a tiny bit of space growing between your shoulders and your ears. And then notice the shape that your chest and your shoulders are making, and your neck and your chin as well. And notice where your heart is located inside of that shape. I myself have the tendency to form a sort of cave around the heart with the shoulders coming forward and the head either up or down. So just feeling your heart come forward out of the shoulders and toward the front of the body. And noticing how your chin responds. Sometimes the chin wants to come up and we kind of look up and put some pressure on the back of the neck. So just focus on feeling the space between your heart and your brain. And you just want to get that as clear and direct as possible. So you'll feel just a really slight tuck in your chin to exaggerate the length in the back of your neck. So just maybe even imagining your physical heart and the line that's connecting it to your brain, through the brainstem or through the throat, through the brainstem into the mind. Just to be sure that we are clear, we are open, and letting all of that relaxation from the shoulders and above to spread down, relaxing all the muscles in your arms, relaxing all the muscles in the hands and the fingers. And just letting the arms just be almost just an extension of your heart. Just letting them fully relax and feeling them pulsing along with your heartbeat. And then feeling all the softness just keep trickling down, softening your rib cage and feeling your rib cage almost hugging your lungs, protecting your lungs. Relaxing your stomach and feeling the muscles across the abdomen and the lower back almost hugging your organs, protecting the organs. And feeling your hips soften into place, relaxing any energy in the pelvic floor and in the glutes. And softening all the muscles down the legs. Feeling the full length and the weight of your legs. And feeling the feet and the toes soften as well. Almost like all the muscles are just rolling off of the bones. If you can just picture all of the muscles in your physical body, throughout the body, and just picture like a 0.5 centimeter of space just growing between the muscles and the bones, just like they're just letting go a little bit. They don't feel a need to grip onto the bones so tightly. So a little bit more space to breathe. And just trusting this position that you've chosen. And starting to bring some awareness back to that center line of the body that we started focusing on. So feeling the space between both of your hip points and down, feeling that triangle between your pubic bone and both hip points. And just allow that to get wide and spread and get soft. And then by checking in with your pubic bone, feel that alignment to your navel. Feel that alignment to your sternum, and to your breastbone. Feel that to your throat center, your chin, your nose, third eye, and crown of the head. And then feeling that on the surface of the front of your body, feel how that also permeates the body and goes through and goes to the back body and all the spaces in between. So feel the space between the sit bones, the root of your spine, and with your awareness, trace that up the back body, the lower back, middle back, behind the heart in the space between the shoulder blades, in the back of your neck, and the crown of your head. And now just bring your awareness to the crown of your head and the root of your spine. And just feel those reaching in opposite directions naturally, not with any sort of strain, just by softening into place and by allowing your crown to be magnetically drawn up naturally, up toward the heavens, and then allowing your seat to be magnetically drawn toward the earth naturally. So just exaggerating that space in the center line of your body where all our chakras exist, all our energy centers. And then just start to bring your awareness to the space beneath your sit bones, no matter what position you're in. Just finding the space in the earth beneath where you are sitting, even if that is 10 stories up or even higher. So no matter what your relationship physically is to the earth, just feeling the innate connection there. Reminding yourself that your body came from the earth, it will return to the earth. And this isn't something that requires your acknowledgement. This is just facts of life. So just trusting that you are connected, even if you don't feel it. And then just start to imagine, or maybe even see in your mind's eye, the very core of the earth, the fire that is burning within the earth, somewhere beneath your sit bones. And relaxing the forehead, relaxing the jaw as you visualize, and noticing any tendencies to tense up as we move into this visualization part of the practice. And each time that you notice any tension, that will naturally bring you into the observer. It will naturally soften a little bit of the tension. So as always, just being kind and patient with yourself through the process. So seeing a disk of light from the core of the earth. And watch as that disk is magnetically drawn up to your body, up to your root, the base of your spine, and slowly just floating up closer and closer to you. And feeling this disk of light now about a foot beneath you. So feeling the warmth radiating up at you. Feeling the safety, the sense of security and motherly support. And naturally, this disc of light is drawn to your root chakra and getting closer and closer. And it starts to enter your body, entering the feet, traveling up the legs, and traveling to your root at the base of your spine, where it will pause for a moment as light attracts light. So as this light, this disc of light from the core of the earth starts to move its way through your body, it will naturally remind your chakras of its own core, of its light. Just like this light has come from the core of the earth, it will naturally remind your body and your energy centers of their core light as well. So just letting your body feel this process, not thinking too much about this, not thinking at all about this. This is not a thinking process. This is an energetic listening. So staying in that role of the observer as best as you can. And just feeling this warm light fueling and feeding your root chakra, so that your whole body just starts to feel a little bit more safe, a little bit more secure, held, supported. And as the light just naturally floats up to your second chakra, the sacral. This is about 2 inches beneath the navel, the lower belly and the sacrum. And naturally, this light is drawing out the core feelings that are in your sacral space. These core feelings being creativity, being pleasure, intimacy, joy. That statement that you may say, or you might hear people say, that I'm just not creative, or some people are more creative than I am. It's not true. We're all creative in our own ways. We're all given this gift of creativity, as long as we trust and nurture that. It's a practice, just like everything else in life. We can't expect to be creative without nurturing our creativity. And also, what exists here is pleasure, a true sense of joy and childlike pleasure, and a sense of a goddess energy. No matter what gender you identify as, we all have this inner goddess energy that is patient, that is loving, that is joyful and childlike, that is creative. So just feeling this light from the core of the earth naturally fueling these more positive qualities of your sacral space. And then naturally, when the light is ready, it will start to float up into your solar plexus. This is about 2 inches above the navel, the center of your abdomen, where your gut feelings exist, your gut brain. And This is our home of self-worth, of confidence. When out of balance, our home of criticism, self-criticism. And existing here, core feeling here, is a deep knowing of worthiness. Knowing that we are worthy for being here simply because we are here. There is nothing more you need to do to prove your worth. The fact that you were given a body that is capable of hearing these words, that is capable of hearing whatever you hear, seeing whatever you see, that has a heart that is beating for you, lungs that are breathing for you, a mouth that can taste and speak, a nose that can smell, and so on. That in itself means that you are worthy, means that you belong here, because you would not be given those things if you did not belong here, or if you did not deserve them, if you were not worthy of them. And also know that there is nothing specific that you have done to deserve what you have received. These are pure gifts of life that we were all given, and not everyone is given them. But we are all given exactly what we need as individuals. So, watching any tendency of judgment to pop up there, just with those words of deserving and worthiness, because that can easily be kind of warped into a way of just not a helpful framing. So just watching what your mind and its tendencies are. And just trust that you are worthy of being here. And you are here for a reason. And you have everything that you need already. And you are perfect exactly the way you are. And any changes that you may want to make to yourself or to your mind come from a place of love, come from a place of self-improvement, rather than a place of self-hate and feeling like we're not good enough, so that's why we want to change. Letting any changes come from the love of your personal growth. So just letting this core light from our earth feed your core feelings of self-love here in your solar plexus. As you just allow this disc of light to keep creeping up the body and make its way into the heart center. So as you start to feel this light attracting light in your heart space, also recognize the bottom 3 chakras we've already worked on, and notice how that energy is just continuing to feed up your body, continuing to come into your heart and further. So those core feelings of safety, of worthiness and creativity, of confidence, just letting all those feelings continue to exist as we move up the body. And now resting in our heart space. This is where our physical meets the spiritual. And this is our home of compassion, of gratitude, of love, of understanding, of resonance. When you hear words that resonate with you, or you're in a situation where your body physically responds and you get tingles or you get flushed all over. These are feelings of resonance. This is when our heart, our deepest sense of knowing, recognizes what we're hearing or seeing on the outside as truth. So know that any maybe first labeled new information that you hear that really resonates with you, either in a book or during these sessions or from friends and family, and when they resonate with you and it all just clicks and it makes sense, it's because your body is already knows that, and it's just like, yes, I knew that. And then when you hear it from the outside, it just enhances those feelings. So learning to nurture that trust you have with your heart and the feelings that you have with your gut as well, with your body's physical sensations. And just trusting that the core of your heart is deeply compassionate for yourself, your struggles, your journey, therefore for others in their journey. Your core self is deeply grateful for all the blessings that you've been given, and deeply grateful for existing. And your deepest self in your heart center is also connected infinitely to that everlasting source of love that the universe has to offer us. So, noticing any tendencies you may feel to go out and earn love from other people, or earn love and approval from the world around you. Especially with social media, this is enhanced. And just know that you will feel yourself trying to please others and earn love and approval. But each time that you catch yourself doing that, you can remind yourself that there is 0 point in doing that, because all the love you could ever possibly want is already inside of you. And by trying to earn more love from the outside, that is not acknowledging our blessings. That is not being grateful. And it's just ignoring a significant part of the universe and the world. So we can reframe it by doing things from the love that we already have inside of us. There's no need for you to get any more love. There is just a need for you to share your love, and that will awaken the love in someone else, and they will awaken that in someone else, and so on and so on. So just by you staying connected to your heart, you are already doing such a service to this world. So letting all of those core feelings, along with the core light and love from the earth itself, to just keep floating up the body and come into your throat center. And this is where we really connect to the people around us. This is our communication hub. This is where our listening exists, our speaking exists, our honesty and truthfulness, or lack thereof. So allowing this light to feed into your throat center, allowing the core sensations from the bottom 4 chakras now to feed into your throat as well. so that you may communicate to yourself through words of safety and security, through words of joy and creativity. Communicate words of confidence and self-love. And communicate words of compassion and gratitude. And communicating these honest truths to yourself first, and therefore you're able to communicate that to others. And the same with listening. Listening from these spaces of love. Noticing any tendency to listen with judgments, or to listen and be having your own conversation in your own head while trying to listen to someone else speak. And knowing that listening from love means truly listening, listening to every word, listening to the body language, listening to the subtle tones and facial expressions, and just being fully present with whatever you are trying to listen to, or whoever you are trying to listen to. Knowing that your attention is the greatest gift of love you can give, period. Your awareness, that is what it's all about. And giving a sense of gratitude through this prayer-like system almost. And knowing that prayer is just attention. It's just giving your undivided attention to all of your blessings and to whoever may have granted you those blessings. So showing up fully, being present for yourself and for the conversations in your own mind and the bodily sensations that you're feeling, and not ignoring those. And that is exactly what will allow you to do the same for others. So allowing this core disk of light and love and security, creativity, confidence, compassion, gratitude, honesty, to just keep going up, now entering the head and into your third eye center, the space between the eyebrows. This is our home of intuition. This is where we have the ability to see ourselves clearly, or not clearly, where we see our thoughts and feelings accurately or not. And just by allowing this light and these core sensations of love to rest with your third eye center, is naturally recalibrating it to a clear space of love and understanding, so that you are a little bit more capable of seeing yourself and seeing your core feelings and trusting yourself. And knowing that it has to start there, it has to start with seeing yourself. And all this talk we hear of opening the third eye, which is nice, which is valuable, but it doesn't do anything for us until we can close our third eye and turn it inward to see ourselves. Because whatever we see in the world around us is just a projection, is just a reflection of what we feel and see inside of ourselves. So letting your intuitive seeing process and knowing process to start inside first. Every day, starting inside first. This is a daily thing. And then having that allow us to see outside of us with a new lens, maybe a little bit less fuzzy than before. And finally, just allowing this disc of light to come to its final chakra in the body, our crown, at the very tip of your head. And feeling now all of the energy, feeling that center line of your body, just like we did at the beginning of practice. And feeling how all these energy centers are now open, are clear, are aligned with this core light. And they're feeding into each other. The energy from your root is traveling to your sacral space, traveling to your solar plexus, up to your heart, up to your throat, up to your third eye, and finally to the crown of your head. And this is our home of connection. Our connection to the heavens, our connection to our Maker, to Spirit, our ancestors, our angels, our guides, whatever word you might have for that. And just resting in a deep sense of trust that you are held, that you are supported on all sides, in all realms. You have ancestors, you have spirits, you have guides and angels. You have a Maker. And all of them are watching you in awe at all times. All of them are patient and loving and supporting. And there is no need to feel any sort of guilt or unworthiness or questioning about these truths. And trust that not feeling connected and not feeling supported by your ancestors and spirits and all that is also a part of the process. Because it would be impossible, or at least not helpful, for us to feel that sense of connection at all times. Because the reason it can feel so good when we do get those reminders that we are connected spiritually, it's the contrast that makes that feel so good. It's the fact that we have been in the dark for so long that allows the light to feel so warm and inviting and welcoming. So throughout this process that we've just gone through of awakening the core feelings in our energy centers, you can also trust that the opposite, feeling the negative sensations of each energy center, is part of the positive. You can imagine the yin and the yang sign. There is always darkness within the light. There is always light within the darkness. And they need each other. Because we would not know light if everything was light. We wouldn't even have a name for it. It is the darkness that creates the light, that allows the light to shine as bright as it does. So you can let this disc of light exit your body naturally, drawing away anything that didn't belong in your body that it might have picked up, drawing out any impurities or questioning or just anything that doesn't serve you. And allowing that light to just keep floating up and up and up to the sun, to space, just into the universe where it will be held. Joining the stars, joining the sun. And just trusting that you have this power inside of you already. Everything that you have done today, you have done. I have simply just created this space and opened up the possibility to this. But now that you have felt these sensations, you have the power to awaken them within yourself. Just reminding yourself of your own power and not selling yourself short. And just allowing all of these messages to settle within your skin, within your muscles, your bones, and your cells. And just rest in silence for about, probably a little under a minute. And just really notice how the body responds and feel these messages within you. Maybe just starting to notice your breath again. Just recognize this prana, this life force energy entering your nose and filling you up, and welcoming that air to fill you up even more. Maybe expanding the body naturally as you breathe in. And if it feels like something you'd like to do, you can bring your hands to a prayer position at heart center if you'd like, or any place else that the hands want to go. And just take a moment to, again, feel the pulsing of your palms, feel your heartbeat in your hands. Feel your heart beating into your thumbs beating back into your heart. And just reminding yourself of this power that you have. And taking a deep breath in, filling up even fuller. And then as you exhale, decompressing, allowing your head to gently bow. And bowing to your Creator, bowing to your ancestors, guides, and spirits. And bowing to everyone in this space who has showed up and practiced, and all of their ancestors, guides, and spirits. And most importantly, bowing to yourself, simply for being, simply for showing up. Trust that this practice has worked and will continue to heal you through the rest of your days and nights. And may you bring this same love into everything that you do and create, and to everyone that you see. Namaste.